Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Tonight, we are continuing with Animorphs number 5, The Predator by K. Applegate. I sat down, very suddenly. I'm sure it looked funny. The big, hairy gorilla simply falling down. I would have laughed if I'd seen it. My mother, not dead, alive. I wanted to yell, "Mom! Mom! It's me, Marco!" But Jake was in my head, a loud, urgent whisper. "Marco, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Do you hear me?" So I wasn't just imagining it. Jake had recognized her too. "Marco, listen to me, man. You have to hold it together. My mother, alive. My mom. Come on, Marco, stand up. Don't make them suspicious." He was speaking just to me. I could hear Jake. I could. But it seemed to come from far off. He didn't understand. It was my mom. My mom. "Marco, that is not your mother. Not anymore. This is not her. Jake, it's my mom. Look, it's her." "No, it isn't, Marco. Not anymore. They have her. She's one of them. One of them." "Why, Visser One." Visser 3 sneered. "You seem to have frightened the humanoid one." "It is called a gorilla," Visser 1 said coldly. "If you are going to be in charge of Earth, Visser 3, you should at least learn something about the planet. And take a human host body like you did? No, I think not. Human bodies are weak. I much prefer this Andalite host." My mother looked at him and curled her lip. "I took a human host and learned about the planet and the humans. And because of that, I was able to begin the invasion that you have now endangered with your criminal incompetence." Fisher 3's deadly and light tail twitched, as if he was going to stab my mom. Fisher 1, the red troops tensed up. The gold troops let their hands edge toward their weapons. "Okay," Rachel said. "I think we were right. These two definitely don't like each other." She didn't know, I realized slowly. Rachel didn't know, but she had never met my mother. Neither had Cassie or Tobias, and Jake had kept our talk private. Fisher 3 slowly relaxed. "You would like to provoke me, Visher 1, he said. "But the fact is that I destroyed the Andalite force. I shot down the dome ship. I killed Prince Alfengor myself and heard his dying screams. And now I have eliminated this last pathetic rabble of Andalites." My mom, Visher 1, just smiled. "You want to be Visher 1? You think you can take my title? We shall see." The Council of 13 does not like vishers who make mistakes. And you have made mistakes. Be careful of your own ambition. She snapped her fingers, and every one of those soldiers in gold turned. Then she walked away, followed by her gold uniformed troops. That was not my mother. At least not the creature who called herself Visser One. Visser One was the yerk inside my mom's brain. But the sickening thing is, you see, that the host's mind is still alive. It is still aware. Somewhere inside that head, behind those painfully familiar eyes, my mother still lived. Take it easy, Marco, Jake said. I know how it is. I know how much you want to do something. But now is not the time. It cut us down before we got 2 steps. I know, I said dully. I hated myself for not trying, but I knew there was nothing I could do. I had to hide inside my morph. Never let my mother know it was me. Never let her know. Slowly, heavily, I stood up. I felt weak. Very strange feeling for a gorilla. I think right then, if I had been in any other morph, I would have just surrendered and let the animal mind take over. Let instinct rule and wash away my human emotion. The gorilla was too much like a human. Its instincts were gentle. Like humans, it was a creature with emotions. It could not protect me from the pain. Don't tell the others, Jake, I said. You're the only one who recognized her. Okay, Marco. You can't even tell Cassie, okay? It's okay, man. You're my oldest and best friend. You know that. No one will ever know from me. Visser 3 still stared at us. I think he wasn't sure what to do next. "6 and lights," he said. "6 and light bodies that could be used by my most loyal lieutenants." Axe exploded. And then there would be others like you filth, other Andalite controllers, more unnatural abominations like your vile self. Visser 3 cocked his head thoughtfully. Why are you the only one who speaks? You're right, of course. Why would I allow anyone to acquire anti-morphine powers? But you are a child. Why do the others remain silent? And why do you all still hide in your morphs? Curious. Very curious. I seemed to think it over for a minute. Would he realize the truth? Would he figure out that the reason we remained silent was so he wouldn't guess that we were human? Would he figure out that's why we stayed in morph? He seemed to shrug. Take them back to a holding cell. Triple the guard. If there is the slightest trouble, kill them. And that is the end of that lovely chapter. And really sad that I was starting to get sleepy during this part because this is one of the instances where it's an iconic moment. So it's like, don't fuck this shit up. Don't fuck this shit up. So I'm like trying to hold back as many yawns as I can during this video, and then it's like, yeah, one of the most iconic scenes. Yeah, Jash, this is the moment to get tired. Oh God. Oh yeah. But yeah, this is, as I've said before, the first 5 books state the reason that each Animorphs really gets into the fight. For number 5, it covers both Axe and Marco. Axe can't return home, so he's sort of stuck doing this. He has to do something. He's not going to just, just say, okay, I'm an Andalite, you're humans, fuck off. He realizes he's starting to grow attached to the Animorphs and the fact that they're the world's best hope to fight the Yeerks. So, gotta do what you gotta do. With Marco, it's the fact that Visser One is inside his fucking mom's head, and he's a good mama's boy, so he's like, okay, now I have my reason to fight. This is why I fucking fight, because just like Jake is fighting to free Tom, Marco is fighting to free his mom. And it'll only be throughout reading the entire series they'll find out whether Jake and Marco were both successful in their goals. Oh, and something I didn't point out in one of the chapters I read tonight. There's like a theory circulating in the Animorphs fandom about Andalite propaganda. And in some of the cases, I can sort of understand that. But one of the things was that Axe believes the Andalite propaganda that well, the Yeerks will destroy everything except, the hosts and what are needed to feed the host. In this book, we actually get one example of how that is actually the case. As Visser 3 says, remaking Earth in the Yeerk's own image, which means, a couple of shit's gotta go. So yeah. It's a nice little headcanon about that fact only being Andalite propaganda, but in this case, it is true, folks. It is true. Now, this is late. It's like 4:21 a.m. and I want to go to sleep a little after 5, so I'm not going to be doing any end credits things. I will say that there was no hopeful wish submitted for this episode, so I'm not going to bother with that segment. And until next video, goodbye.